Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Sensual Ramadan special podcast. I'm your host Rizana Shaja. I pray that the Ramadan that we are in, all the fasting, all the ibadah, all the acts of worship that we have done for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is accepted by Al-Majid, Al-Kareem, Al-Wahid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His ultimate mercy has accepted our du'as, has elevated us through the mercy and rahmah of Ramadan, and through His infinite mercy. Ameen, 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 Ya Rabbal Alameen. So we are on the 19th day of Ramadan. So the holy 10 days, 10 nights of Ramadan are just about to begin. SubhanAllah. So today I want to speak to you all about the Rahm itself, the uniqueness of the Rahm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with the sacred Rahm. I call it sacred because nobody can access it. There's no way the Rahm can be accessed by anybody except by ourselves. See, if you take the heart is not a vacuum. The heart is a pulsating muscle. You take the brain's not a muscle. The brain is just a lump of neurons. A mentor of mine used to say that it's like the most softest jelly you could ever find. And combine that with electricity, that's our brain. But the Rahm, she's a vacuum. She holds space. People think that it's empty space. I mean, it even was science even used to say that the womb is empty if it doesn't have a child, or it doesn't have an embryo, or the womb is not pregnant. The womb is empty. La. The womb is never empty. She's never, ever, ever, ever empty. She's never empty because all the generational knowledge, information, data, experience in the form of trauma, in the form of memories, are stored in her folds, which are invisible to the naked eye, yes, but she's never empty. And she's unique. But we have not been taught that she is sacred. I keep repeating this over and over again because I see it. I see it even today. I see it in my family as well. The way they talk about their Rahm. We ourselves don't accept that she's sacred. We ourselves don't acknowledge her sacredness. When we get our monthly periods, it's annoying, it's irritating. And especially in the month of Ramadan, when we get our periods, we feel less than. We feel that we can't do our ibadah. We feel because we're not allowed to worship, we're not allowed to do the prayers, we're limited. And we get annoyed, we get frustrated. Not only that, we're treated differently. I've noticed it. When somebody has her periods, she's treated different. Like, oh yeah, you got your periods, you're not fasting, so you're excused. How dare you? Like, how dare you say that to a sacred feminine? She's not fasting because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given her a live organ which has to be alive, which has to generate hormones, which has to go through a cycle, a process, so that she could be blessed with the opportunity to give birth to a new civilization. But because she gets her period in the holy month of Ramadan, she's less than? Come on. This is so hypocritical of us as Muslims. Think about it. Forget about somebody else saying that to us. Imagine the way we think about it ourselves. This sacred Rahm has to go through these processes day in and day out so that she's healthy and she's vibrant, that one day, idnillahi ta'ala, that when you want to conceive a child and give birth to a new life, your Rahm is ready, she's strong, she has the capacity, and she's viable. But if you want to stop that for one instance, you mess up the whole system. Believe me when I say this, I have done that in the past. And that led to PCOS, fibroids, all kinds of stuff in me. So we're not taught that she's sacred. We're not taught that she's unique. We're not taught that she's important. We're not taught that the organ that is the core of us is the life of us. We're not taught that. And that makes me sad. That makes me really sad. In Islam, a woman has an extremely high status. But the society and the world and this patriarchal system has brought down the value of a woman for their own gain. And I'm not going to blame the men. I'm not going to blame the men for this. They're not the only ones to be blamed. Us as women, we don't know our power. We don't know our value. We don't know our sacredness. We don't know how unique we are. And again, I can't blame the women as well, because we were not taught. They were not taught. For a fact, my mother was not taught. My grandmother was not taught. But my mother and grandmother were taught that they were valuable and they are worthy and they're important. They were taught that. But I know my mother's cousins were not taught the same concept of being valuable, important. And I see the difference, the way my mother carries herself and the way her cousins carry themselves. So, even though my mom was taught she's important and she's valuable, she wasn't taught the importance of a sacred Rahm, how sacred it is. So there were times that she ignored her sacred Rahm as well. The only time she used to give it any attention was when she was in pain. The same thing I followed. When I was in pain, that's when I used to acknowledge my Rahm. When I used to get annoyed, angry, frustrated. But when it was done, she didn't exist for me. because I didn't have time for her. I had things to do. I had goals to achieve. Even after I became a mother, it was the same. It never stopped. It never stopped. Going after what I wanted never stopped. But the only difference now is I structure my goals, I structure my days, my weeks according to the requirements of my sacred Rahm, and I structure it from the sacred feminine energy of simple, easy, sensual flow. So when we speak about the Rahm being unique, you might think, yeah, I know. But do you? Do you truly know that you are unique as a sacred feminine? And there's no competition with the sacred masculine, and there's no competition with another sacred feminine. If you consider yourself as a sacred feminine, you will consider every feminine sacred as well. Because we're all the same. But we don't do that. It is time that we stopped competing with each other. It is time that we stopped trying to bring each other down. It is time that we unite as sacred feminine. And it is time that we support each other and have each other's backs. And know that whatever happens, we don't compromise each other's safety. We don't compromise each other's morals. We don't compromise each other's dignity. And we become a shield for each other. Think about this. In this month of Ramadan, we've been asking dua for ourselves, for our family. But have we started asking dua for other sacred feminine who may be in a worse situation than you? Other sacred feminine who are struggling in relationships. Other sacred feminine who want to be in relationships, who want to get married, who want to have children. We may not know them. It is not required for us to know another sacred feminine who is in pain, but we can feel her pain. Can we do that now? Can we take this opportunity? Can you pause this podcast now? Make a dua for another sacred feminine who might be going through a similar struggle as you, or might be going through a struggle very much unlike you. Whatever it is, can we make a dua for her? Ya Rabb, all those women, all those sacred feminine who are in war-torn areas, who struggle with their bodies, struggle with their ibadah, who struggle with nutrition, their careers, their relationships. Ease their burden, Ya Rabb. Ease their burden. Ya Ahad, Ya Ahad, the One. Ease their burden. Ya Ahad means the One. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the One and only. So when I say the One, we all know the surah, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. It means we declare Allah is one. That's Tawheed. How can we feel the oneness and the unity of Allah through our sacred Rahm? By uniting ourselves with every sacred feminine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. As Muslim women, It is our duty and responsibility to take care of other women. We may not be in the position to do it physically, financially, but energetically, we definitely can do it. Al-Ahad, we all know the meaning. It's one of the most beautiful names of Allah, and it is a declaration of Allah's might. When I think of Al-Ahad, the one and only, there's nothing to compare Allah. There's nothing that comes close to Allah, because Allah is the creator and we are all creations. So when we contemplate on the name Al-Ahad, we're not just testifying as Muslims. We're not testifying the power, the qudra, the presence of Allah. We're testifying that we are minuscule, weak creations. And we need each other. And we need each other, and we need to take care of each other for the pleasure of Allah. This may sound strange to you, but making a dua for a sacred feminine, you don't know, might help us on the day we need help. I was speaking to a client last week, and I was telling her, and she was saying, I don't know how. She was telling me, Riz, my life, subhanAllah, has become so much better. I don't know how this happened. And I say it's all Allah's work, and also dua of other women you don't even know. And she's like, that's true, because you might do something you might consider insignificant, but it might change somebody's life, and they will make a dua for you as long as they live. That dua can change destinies, other destinies. To make that dua, we need to feel unity. We need to feel as a one ummah. And we cannot feel unity if we are not able to evoke Allah through His most beautiful name, Al-Ahad. Think about it. Al-Ahad. The one who nourishes us, the one who protects us, the one who provides for us, the one who knows what is hidden, the one who feeds the fish in the deepest, darkest ocean, the one who has knowledge of what will be and what will not be. That is the one. And beyond that is the one. So I'm going to take you into a trance. This name, Al-Ahad, always fascinated me. You should think, why does Allah call Himself the One? Because He is the one who is capable of any and everything. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. When we truly embody the name, the virtue, the benefits of the name Al-Ahad, we actually become free. We truly, truly gain freedom. And we gain freedom, we're in a position to teach other women to gain freedom. Because when we truly bring in the name Al-Ahad into our world, there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to worry. Everything is by Allah's decree. Why would you worry when you know Allah has your back all at that time? And you know you're protected, and you know you're provided, and you know every time you raise your hands to ask Allah, it is filled. Ya Ahad. Let's get into the trance. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Take a deep breath. One more. Relax. Relax your feet. Relax your legs. Feel your thighs relaxing. Your sacral triangle relaxing. Your stomach is relaxed. Then we travel up your chest. Your hands, your shoulders, your neck, they're all relaxed. And we climb up to our eyes, which are closed and connected to Al-Ahad. And we climb straight up to the core of our head. We go to the crown. We are so relaxed. SubhanAllah. Can feel peace, calmness flowing into you. Place your right hand on your sacred Rahm. Enter her. Now you're sitting inside your Rahm. There's nothing you need to do here. There's nothing you need to achieve here. There's no deadline. Just chant. Ya Ahad. Ya Ahad. Ya Ahad. Ya Ahad. Ya Ahad. Ya Ahad. Feel Allah's power flowing through your Ruh. Feel one with yourself. Feel one with the Ummah. Know that Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. Inni qareeb. So Allah says, I am near. Feel Allah, the one who will solve everything for you. The one who created the problem is the one who will solve it. The one who gave you the pain is the one who will give you the healing. The one who took something away is the one who will give you something better. Ya Ahad. Ya Ahad. Stay here. Feel Allah's power. Feel the oneness of Allah. Know Allah is Al-Ahad, the one and only. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.